Time has expired. Senator Duckworth.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for being here, Secretary Lew. Who walked away from the JCPOA? Which administration?
It was the last administration.
That's what I thought. Thank you for your willingness to serve once again. I just need to pause here and take a moment to say that my heart is hurting. Ever since October 7th, I've been thinking endlessly of the children, the innocent children, Israeli, Palestinian, and even Illinoisan, whose lives have been upended or tragically ended during these devastating days. Every night I go home and I hug my two little girls close, haunted by the suffering of the innocents. They are too young, my girls, to understand why I'm so upset and why I'm holding them so tightly. But there are countless families who won't get the chance to hug their children close any longer, and my heart breaks for all of them. Of those Americans presumed to be held hostage by Hamas, many have ties to my home state of Illinois, whether themselves being Illinoisans or by a family member or friend who has reached out to my office asking for help. Their families and friends are advocating tirelessly for their release, for their access to basic medical care, and for information about their loved ones. At the same time, Jewish and Muslim communities around the world are feeling deep emotional wounds from the violence. We are sadly already seeing hate crimes spring up in the wake of the war, like this past weekend's horrific fatal stabbing of an innocent 6-year-old Palestinian American, Wadia Al-Fayoumi, in Plainfield, Illinois. This shocking and tragic murder is a painful reminder that we must confront and reject any Islamophobic rhetoric that seeks to conflate the evils of Hamas with the Palestinian people or with a vast majority of Muslim people. Just as we must confront and reject the anti-Semitic rhetoric that seeks to draw a false equivalence between the democratically elected government of Israel and the terrorist organization of Hamas. As ambassador, you would play a critical role in helping to strike the right tone for these very difficult and complex conversations, while demonstrating the United States' long-term resolve and right commitment to support our Israeli allies. I believe that you will serve and represent our interests well as a voice for democratic values that rejects hate and discrimination on the basis of race, religion, or ethnicity, and ground us in our shared rights to live in peace and build a better future together, but also in Israel's right to defend herself. Secretary Lew, I want to invite you to reflect on that work and the role you hope to play if confirmed to be our ambassador.
You know, Senator, I find acts and beliefs of bias and hatred against people because of who they are or what they are just totally unacceptable. And when it's manifested in acts of violence, whether it's against a Jew or a Muslim, it's equally horrible. What I've said about the attacks in Israel is that almost 1,500 people were killed because they were Jewish. If it had been 1,500 Muslims who were killed because they were Muslims, that would be a problem too. We have to try and humanize these issues and understand that it's Hamas that's the enemy. It's not Palestinians who are the enemy. Now, Hamas hides behind Palestinians. It creates terrible, terrible choices in terms of how you defend yourself. But at the core, there has to be mutual respect and hopefully more than respect if we can get to a better place.
Do you agree that Israel has the right to defend herself?
Absolutely.
Do you agree that one of the core tenets of Hamas is to destroy Israel?
Absolutely.
Do you agree that the innocents in Gaza deserve to have access to secure humanitarian corridors so
Yes.
that there's access?
And I'm pleased that even this morning progress has been made on that front.
Thank you. If confirmed, can you commit to working to address both the urgent and underlying humanitarian needs in Gaza, including establishing secure humanitarian corridors, access for key medical workers like the Red Cross, and access to food, water, and sanitation for the people in Gaza?
I think we must continue to do that, and if confirmed, that will be part of my mission, and it will have to be done in a way that respects the security of Israel, and the two do not have to be inconsistent.
Thank you. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Senator